And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster and I am here to touch base with you as I always do every day except for Saturdays and Sundays. That's going to be interesting to say
Oh, we're
that,
adding
Saturdays and
Saturday.
Sundays.
You're
Saturdays
not
I'll
doing
just pop
Saturdays
on like,
anymore?
well, no, Saturdays is just going
Okay.
to be flex day. So I won't make it a scheduled day, but I will be on because I'm finding out all these new devices. But Chris, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you today?
I am doing good. I can't wait to have a conversation on one main topic. And I'm sure, because some folks, they did reach out to me while this hearing was going on yesterday. Fifi, are you in the room? And so I don't know. But anyway, before we go into, let me just tell you what we're going to be talking about today. I thought we were going to end up talking about and we may get to some Instagram accounts as well, but definitely wanted to talk about Fani Willis's defiant, Willis being defiant on stand during hearing yesterday. Really was amazing to watch if you have not seen it, and kind of like give you some history behind it. And also what the correspondents are talking about, because Chris and I are not lawyers. We're just giving you the news. We're just like recycling the news so that way you will dive into things that are important. So
Yeah.
who's in the room? I see Chrissy is in the building. Miss G is in the building. Bryson is in the building. What's up, Ron? What's up, Chris? What's up, CQ family? What's up, RLP family?
What's up?
I see Omar is in the building. He says, yo, Rashawn. Rashawn is in the
Hey.
building. I love my Rashawn. What's going on, Rashawn? Uh, who looks ridiculous, Omar? Who looks ridiculous? Kelly, good morning. How are you? So good to see you. Oh, you love this jacket? Yeah, look at that jacket. I'm dressed up because casual dress, because this morning I spent time with my client at interior design project. So I went to the interior design building today, and you can never go into the interior design building looking shabby. So we interior designers have to look really nice when you go into that building. And so this morning I got up early, met her at the opening of the showroom, and we picked out wallpaper for her dining room. It's a
Mm.
beautiful dining room I'm working on in New Rochelle, and we're so excited because we're able to. She came across this particular wallpaper, and so we ended up looking at other wallpapers. And what's good about going to the showroom is that you can get to expand your client's imagination, and because they don't know what they can have until they see it. So that's the beauty of it. And we had such a good time. She was like, Ron, this is amazing. And then she says, I think, do we have any more hours? I was like, no, your hours are up. But she said, oh, no, we're going to have to re-sign. I was like, yes.
That's always a good thing.
It's always good because we've been having a good time designing her property. And there's several other areas that we're going to do. After we finish the dining area, we're doing the powder room. And after the powder room, we are doing the porch and getting it ready for the summer. So I'm excited about my client. I love working with her. She has such amazing insight. You give her information and she just runs wild, and she does her homework. And for those that are thinking about designing your homes or fixing up a room or creating a new space, please hire an interior designer. And if you want it, you can hire me. I do designs virtually as well. But what's benefits of the interior designer, I'm just giving you a sidebar here, is that having an interior designer saves you lots of money. Because why? We end up paying for ourselves. When your client, when you go out and buy a dining room set that costs 10 grand, and then your designer has a discount on showrooms or renovation, rejuvenation, or restoration hardware, or what other places, Pottery Barn, and all the stores that you like to shop in, we get what's called trade discounts. So we get to save you a little money while we make a little money. So always look for an interior designer to help you in your design projects. That's what we do. But I had such a great morning, and so took the train into the city quickly, and then rode back on the bike.
I would say you took the train.
No, I took the train because I was like, I gotta be on time, and it was
Okay.
so freaking cold this morning. It was like,
Yeah.
and the winds out there, the winds right now in New York City are 30 miles an hour. And it's
Yeah, we got some bad
30
winds.
degrees, 32 or 33 degrees. It was too cold, but the winds were moving from the north. So guess what? I rode with the wind behind me.
Well, that's always good.
That's always a good thing.
So wait, let me ask you a question. Are you guys expecting a lot of snow tomorrow? Because we're
You are getting more snow than we.
Yeah, and it's funny because last week it was the opposite.
Yeah.
Or was it earlier this week?
Last week.
Yeah,
Last weekend.
yeah, we're supposed to get anywhere between 2 to 4 inches. Because the band is coming right here.
1 to 3 here in New York. But look, we take it when we can.
Yeah, I don't mind. It's wintertime. I mean, we haven't had like a real winter in years.
No.
So I don't mind it.
2 years.
It's going to happen. Yeah, it's supposed to happen. It's supposed to happen overnight. So it's supposed to start between 10 and 1 here and wrap up early in the morning before most people get up. So we'll see. And then we'll see what happens.
Chris Brad says Fan's dad has taken the stand for your information. Oh, I wish we're here. Oh, okay.
Well, you know what? I'm going to run it on my side panel here.
We can look at it on our
I won't have the audio. Well, no, I can do close. Here's the thing: if you're watching it on a device, if you've got like CNN or MSNBC, there's closed captioning on it, so you can actually do it that way.
Yeah, we could do it that way, and it is interesting. This whole Fani Willis. Before we go there, though, I just want to say to Lisa. Lisa says, "Do you have those heated gloves that the delivery cyclists wear?" No. But I do have these like little pads I could put in that keep the gloves warm. But I do wear cycling gloves with a mesh glove over it. So my hands are very warm when I'm riding through New York City in this cold weather. Felicia, can I tell you, Fifi was having a moment. She called me. She was like, run. So we're going to definitely talk about Fani Willis today. I see here, what else is in here? Morning, I see all the mornings. Lisa's in the building. Felicia's in the building, which is our Fifi. Let's see who else. Eldridge is in the building. What's going on, Eldridge? How are you doing? It's so good to see you. This is from Miss G. She says, you cannot look busted in that building. No, you cannot. That is the D&D building for interior designers. Okay. Let's take the topic that we want to talk about today. Since this is Friday, I guess we can focus on what is in the news. What is happening in the news? And so let me put my little banner back up because I like to have, first of all, this is Focus Friday, and we are talking about Fani Willis Defiant on stand during hearing. Now, Christy,
I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would say defiant, but I will say she was a contentious witness, and she was standing up for herself. Because here's the thing: she marched into that courtroom because, if I remember correctly, her lawyers were fighting the subpoena for her to even testify. They didn't want her to testify, and she walked in and was just like, "Yo, I'm ready to get on the stand. Let's do this. I'm clearing my name. I don't care what anyone else has to say. Let's do this thing." Like, she came in hard, and she basically said, y'all are lying. I am not the one on trial. No matter how many times you're trying to make me be the one on trial, we are, your defendant is the one on trial for trying to rig an election, and that's who's on trial, not me. So I love the fact that she came out and she stood her ground and she was defending herself and trying to get back her name. Trump's lawyers, they're despicable. They tried to insinuate so many different things, and at every turn she had an answer for it. And even when the judge said, "Oh, you don't have to answer that," no, she said, "No, I'm going to answer it," and she answered it. Fifi came from this angle, which Fifi, I have to disagree with you now. After seeing the whole hearing, like in the beginning, it may have felt like it was like she was
maybe evasive, but Fifi says she buried herself. Oh, yeah, Chill, she buried herself. And I don't agree. I don't agree. I think what she did was she came with the receipts. She said, look, I have cash. My father taught me how to save money, put money away, be able to be an independent woman. Don't depend on a man. And hello, I know I have so many. Wait, I was raised with women. So I can tell you, my father had told the same thing to my sisters. And I can tell you, I know a lot of my friends who are females, their dads told them the same thing. Look, don't depend on no man. Do your thing. Save, get your own career, have your own house, have your own car, have your own possessions. I know that that voice, when she said it, I was like, I know that voice. And what it did was it some of the commentators were talking about on MSNBC last night and early today. They were saying it humanized her. And it also, people of color could identify what she was talking about. And what it did also was that people that were not of our, of our community, they were able to hear how our community operates. And they had to step back. A lot of the white commentators that were lawyers, all the lawyers that are like they're the lawyers, they were like, there's nothing here. Because the whole point of this whole hearing is to find out what is her conduct in jeopardizing the case of Trump, meaning that it is going to, like they're out to get him, or that her conduct is going to have an influx or influence on the Trump case. And none of this has any relationship or reflection of what her case is for Trump. Omar says, I think it's a terrible look, no matter what. The implications are high and her actions place her in negative light. I agree on some point. I agree. But I say it has the hearing is all about, does her situation inhibit the defendant, Trump? And it doesn't.
Yeah, so here I'm here of two minds when it comes to this, because how many people colleagues that work together end up having some type of romantic relationship, and it has nothing to do with their cases. Now, here's the thing. I think where she really did mess up is that she did not disclose to her other colleagues the fact that she was in a relationship with him. The timing and the optics look bad. But on the other hand, too, she is entitled to a private life just like any other citizen, and she should not have her private life paraded. The fact that she stated, "Listen, I don't need a man to take care of me, and that's why I always gave him back his money." And then also, one of the lawyers brought up the fact that on this financial disclosure form, she's not allowed to take more than $100 in gifts from someone. And they tried to imply that every time that she went out with him to eat, and if the bill was over $100, that was a gift. No, she said that's not a gift. We were out to eat, and if that's the case, then every time I go out to eat with someone, if our bill comes over $100, then is that the case for every single time? And I don't think that's fair. She paid her portion, and as she said, I don't think I've ever had a meal where my portion of the bill came to $100. I don't eat that much food, So I think they're picking at straws, and they're trying to make something out of nothing. Granted, do the optics look bad? Yes. But did she necessarily do anything wrong? I don't think so. I don't believe so. And I think that the court and this judge is leaning more towards that. I think the judge was highly upset with Trump's attorneys. He kept telling them to sit down. He kept telling them that, the point has been made. The groundwork has been laid. Move on. Yeah. And they kept stumbling over themselves. And I think that them doing that does not help them at all with this judge.
Also, first of all, I have a question. How many people actually saw the hearing? How many of you have seen the hearing? Like, looked at it from the beginning to the end? How many of you guys? I mean, because as soon as I got off with you guys yesterday, I was in. No, you couldn't keep me from that hearing. And that's the beauty of having cameras in the courtroom, or cameras in hearings like this, because you get to really see what's going on. And like Chris was saying, the defense, or I should say the attorneys for the defense, they were horrible, and they were trying to get into all kinds of business that was not related. It doesn't matter
Yes, and
if he was her boyfriend and he slept at her house. What does that have to do with the Trump case? It has nothing to do with your case, whether she's sleeping at the house or not sleeping at the house. And
yeah.
so,
And then the other thing too, the other woman that they brought in to say
oh,
that,
the
oh,
woman that they brought
yeah,
in.
they
Did
were
you hear the news that
having,
came out this
they were having
morning?
a no, from last night. She testified. She said that they had a relationship from 2019.
But guess what? What
What?
came out
I
this morning?
missed. Oh, I missed something. Go ahead. What was it?
Oh, she had a disagreement. She was impeached. She was kicked out of the of the office. She had a bone to pick with Fani.
Oh yeah, no, I heard about that yesterday. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's why a lot of people didn't take her too seriously. And
yeah.
just because someone knows someone doesn't mean they're dating or in a romantic relationship. And then also, she wasn't able to give specifics as far as like, did she see them kissing or this and that?
But
It's
she
like
did
you
say she
can.
saw them kissing and she saw them hugging and kissing. However, there's no one else that has said that. And number two is that it appears that she might have a axe to grind. So,
Yeah.
and that didn't look good. So when that news came out about her, that killed the defense. It killed Trump's lawyers' point in bringing her up. So Kimmy Kim says she's seen snippets. I said, Rashawn says, I saw bits and pieces. Lisa says she wasn't credible, that woman. Yes, right, she wasn't. Fifi says it's about her character. They know if they can assassinate her character and ski the public's image, right, of her, that's all they need. And skew, I got you, skew. But it's the truth. This is the truth. Well, that's the whole point. We always know that when you go against high and powerful people, the people that are the witnesses, as in seeing what happened, or the lawyers or the DA, they go after them. It's called
Yeah.
character assassination. It's the
Yeah.
old playbook. It's been played for hundreds of years. You go after the one that's going after you and about their character.
So here's the thing, like I have the trial on right now, this closed captioning on, and her father's on the stand. My question is like, what relevance is this to have her father on the stand
Well,
in
I'm
relationship
sure
to
what they
this?
want to do is they want to interrogate him about her keeping money in the house. Or did you tell her how to do that? They just want to kind of like chip
But
away.
what does it have to do with the fact that with the facts of this case? It doesn't have anything to do with it. They tried to imply that, she had a lien on her house, but yet still she kept cash on her. And I love what she said. She was like, yeah, you have a bill to pay, but you still go out and shop, don't you?
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, just because you have a debt, I mean, we all are carrying debt. That doesn't mean we stop doing like purchasing things and having a regular life. Yes, you do. I
I
just
know.
think
As an
they're trying to
entrepreneur
smear
and
her.
solopreneur, I can tell you we have debt and we still spend
Yeah,
money.
yeah. They're just trying to smirch her name.
Felicia says again, because Fifi was in this. Maybe she calls me up while I'm editing photos, and I was like, Fifi, I gotta go back to work.
Fifi's actually right about this comment though.
But she said the judge tried to help her, but she wouldn't shut up. Now, I get what you're saying about the shut up. However, I understand why she kept plowing through with her statement. And what the lawyers were saying, all the lawyers on the commentator, on CNN last night, MSNBC, even Fox was like, they had, they just went against her, what she was wearing, her attitude, the way she looked, but they could not go against what she was stating. And
Yeah.
but they went out. So I get it, but she came in ready. She's a smart DA. Those holding those papers up and saying these are lies, they were her props. When people see the props, it makes a difference.
So I have to agree with Fifi on this, because here's the thing, like, especially when it comes to a courtroom setting, a lot of times when, your attorneys object and the judge is trying to rule on that objection, it makes sense for the person who is on the stand to sit back, listen to the judge's ruling, and then go forward. By her constantly over talking the judge and even going against the judge's ruling that, upholding the objection, and then her still going answering the question, it does not help her, because now she's fighting against her own lawyers that are trying to represent her. So when I watched back some of the commentary from some of the legalese on some of these news channels, that was the one thing they kept saying, that is the one thing that hurt her the most out of everything. And the thing about, and she should know better. She is the district attorney for her county. Like, you are the top person. You know how a trial works and how the court system works. So she became one of the combative defendants that she is always going after. So that was not a good look.
That it wasn't a good look. Now I will agree, it wasn't a good look, but I do think it was, in some ways,
the black people in us were rooting for her. But
I know that sounds so stereotypical of us to say it, but it is. Hey,
it is what it is.
When we are upset, we do bring the volume up a little bit. We do get more animated, but we're not the only people that do that. Hello, my Italian brothers and sisters, they do the same thing. Some of my Korean friends will do it. Well, not as much, but there are certain populations that's how we express ourselves. I know when you get me upset, I'm usually calm for most of the time. But you get me really upset, I might just lose it. Lisa says, I think the judge is going to rule for her. I think so too.
I think so.
Because again, what the hearing is about is that, did her conduct in any way, or will her conduct in any way impede or cause harm to the defendant's case? And I don't see it. And all the lawyers, when the lawyers presented their cases as lawyers, and I was listening, so make sure you go to these commentators and listen to what they're saying. It's quite fascinating. But again, like Chris said, a lot of the lawyers just wish she would have toned it down just a bit. So,
yeah.
I see here, Jasmine says, but the defense attorneys did what they've been trying to do to DA Willis since she was elected, and that's discredit her reputation. Jasmine, because even before she took on this case, when she won her position, they've been going after her ever since. That's why they passed the law in Atlanta, in Georgia, that the governor can now remove the DA.
Yeah, and put anyone he wants in place.
Because they were not happy that she won.
Not even real guidelines. They can kind of like make up anything they want to remove them.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. They have to remember something. All these Republicans, when they're making these crazy laws to their local constitutions, they have to remember they might not be empowered during the next election. So now you have these things on the books. If Democrats were petty, they could use those same laws that they created against them. And then, of course, they'll call it rigged. But excuse me, you're the one that made these laws.
Yeah. Lisa again says, why doesn't she just replace dude, then move on? Well, the case is that there were several. There was, I think it's two people that are in the RICO case that are under charges under the RICO. Brought these charges against her, so they are bringing charges against her, as in this affair or this relationship and how it's going to affect their case. And so far, nothing in her conduct has done anything to impede or cause a problem with this case against Trump, because the whole purpose of this is for Trump to have this case dismissed, which is one. This is the biggest case against him. Rigging an election.
Well, yeah,
it's one of the. I mean, it's the one that has the longest sentences, I think.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, probably. I think this.
No, I think the documents cases. The documents case.
The document case maybe it may be around the same.
I mean, there's so much he's got going on, so much to talk about with him. Yeah. We have to keep it all straight.
Well, what else you guys are saying? Felicia says, see, Felicia's engaged. Felicia's like, Felicia's in it. She's in it. She says, a CNN commentator said that this is the reason hate putting lawyers on the stand. Yeah. Most of the time, most people were shocked that she was on the stand as the DA, because most people felt like she shouldn't go on the stand. But she was like, oh, no, this is my reputation. I need to protect myself.
Her lawyers didn't want her to go on the stand.
Yeah,
they were fighting that.
I'm going on.
And she said she ran over to the courtroom, and you can tell she looked a little flustered.
When the cameras were rolling on her, coming through the hallways, she looked like one of my godmothers coming out the house, ready to do battle. One of the neighbors.
Someone that messed with her baby, and she came out to see what was going on, and she's about to put a hurt on somebody.
She's gonna put a hurting on somebody today. I was just like, yo, she is. But and this is probably going to sound stereotypical, but this is why I love our Black women. I love because I was raised with Black women. So I was raised, my babysitters, my godmother, my aunt, my mother, the women next door, the women across the hall. I mean, I was literally raised by, and I've been around women all my life. And what I love, let me clarify, Black women all my life. And I just love that they don't take crap. They just don't take crap. And when they've had enough, they've had enough.
Hold on. You know what? I think we should invite Fifi in. She made a comment. Fifi, if you're available, let us know and we'll let you in.
Yeah, Fifi, if you want to come on, you can come on. If you have your camera and everything, if you as they say, cam up. Because Fifi's in it. Fifi studied that because he was on it yesterday.
If you're available, let me know and I'll send you the link in your DM.
There we go. And Lisa says, we all can say that, but when someone is attacking you, you don't know how you would act. We all can be Friday morning quarterbacks. Woo!
This is true too.
Yes. When you are on the stand and you're being prosecuted and someone is tearing apart your character, we don't know how we would act. Omar says she looked a bit flustered. No, she was flustered, and she said it. She says, I am not okay. She literally said it. I'm not okay. Yeah. Jasmine said, as a Georgian voter whose vote was almost stolen, I am not mad at DA Willis' demeanor at all. She is pissed and rightly so. I agree. I was glad. I'm proud of her. And what was really interesting is the commentators across the board were like, everyone felt a sense of pride for her as a woman, taking a stand for her character and who she was. And I would agree. It makes sense because we're not accustomed to allowing people to share their thoughts and to express themselves the way, because as soon as a Black person, or let's just say, let's go with the Black lady or the Black guy, raises their voice, oh, calm down. Calm down. I used to get it at work. Oh, Ron, it's not that serious. No, it is serious. And I don't get loud. Could you imagine me getting loud and going, no. But just me saying,
it can happen.
Just my voice going up just a little bit. Oh, Ron, you don't have to be so, it's too much emotion.
Why are you being so aggressive?
That's the word I'm looking for. Why are you so aggressive?
Yeah.
And that's been the title. That's been the play for centuries. So I'm just saying, I enjoyed the moment. Yeah, there we go. Like I said, the angry Black woman trope is always there. It is always there.
Yep.
Always. That's why Obama said he could not share the way he felt, because he would always be interpreted as the angry Black man.
Yep.
Yeah. It's real, y'all. It's real for all our friends of color, friends of another color, or the brown or maybe white persuasion. We all know it's real. When Black people just share what's on their hearts, we're aggressive, we are combative. Yeah, but I am proud of Fani Willis.
Fani Willis.
I keep saying
Fani Willis. Fani Willis.
Fani Willis. Yes, Fani Willis.
Oh no, sorry. Fanny is Fani Willis. I don't know why I said Fani. It's Fani Willis. Yeah, sorry. My bad. My bad. Sorry.
However, it's not May. That's a program. that's a housing program. Who else is in here? Did Fifi say she wanted to come on? She's more than welcome to.
I sent her the link in her DM, so she has it if she wants to join us.
Oh, okay. So Fifi, Chris has sent you the link.
She said she can't. She said she can't get in.
Oh, you sent her the link?
Yeah. I'll send it again.
Okay. Good morning. Jazzy's in the building. What's going on? Let's see who's going on in the Instagram world. The Instagram world. Wait, are you guys? I see people in Instagram. There you guys go. I see the Gretson is in the building. Oh, that's from South Africa. Madame is in the building. PJ Too Cool is in the building. Gerard Gaskin is in the building. I see my Airy official is, hey, Howard's in the building. What's going on, Hal? Jay Jordan is in the building, and Jay Mill Jr., Kimmy is in the building. Magdalene is in the building, and Jamel Shabazz is in the building. Henning Jorgensen is in the building as well. Guys, if you are in the building, come on over to YouTube. That's where we live. That's where you'll get a better experience. Excuse me. Come on over. Come on over, babies. Come on over. She says Google's blocking me. If you go on Chrome.
Well, I just told her. I said it. Yeah, I'm talking to her.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, good for you. Eldridge is in the building. But anyway, what else do you guys have to say about the case? How many people are going to watch it today? I mean, how many of you are even interested in this topic? I know we nerds here are interested, but again, what makes me like crazy is that again, Trump is such a stain on our country on all levels. And speaking of Trump, how about this? Let's talk about have we exhausted this topic yet?
Yeah, we can. I mean, if Fifi's able to get in, we can circle back.
Fifi has a lot to say too.
Well, we can circle back if she's able to get in. Yeah.
But for those that don't know, today may be the day that Trump loses his empire here in New York. The judgment comes out today. The lawyer, so the judge, not the lawyer, but the judge that's responsible for executing the how much Trump is going to have to pay to the New York State because of his crime of withholding and not sharing and being truthful about his worth. So that is coming out supposedly today. I think around 2:00 somewhere. They said today. So stay tuned to that. We may find that Trump is being he has a judgment of. They said the judgment looks like it will be $450 million. Wouldn't that be great?
And the thing about it is, everyone was saying, "Oh, well, if he's not able to, maybe one of his sons can." No, no one in the family would be able to take over the company, and then more than likely, he would have to start liquidating some of his assets because, in order for him to appeal that judgment, whatever it is, he has to put up the money, and if he doesn't have the cash, he can go and get a bond. I believe he would have to put up $80 million and then get the rest in on bond. But the question is, what bond company is going to front him that money? You know, because remember, he's already.
You're talking about for the 83.3 case.
No.
Right
I'm talking about this case also.
Okay, gotcha.
If he wants to appeal this case, this judgment that he's going to get as far as monetary means, he has to put up that money as well as collateral before he can actually appeal, which I did not understand. I didn't understand that about these cases. In order for you to appeal those judgment cases, you have to put up the money.
Yes, because it has to fit in escrow.
Right, and then on top of it, every day that money is not paid out to the person who it is awarded to, you pay interest on it daily.
That's right. Look who's with us today.
Hey, hello, Fifi.
Fifi's in the house. Fifi, how does it feel to be on Touch Base Daily on our new platform? Do you know we can get 10 people on here at one time?
I love the fact that you're on YouTube. This is so much better. This is the way that we can go back over the chat and everything. I love it. I love it. The times you don't have to worry about getting kicked off all the time, everything.
Yes.
We are here to stay. So Fifi, I know you called me yesterday and I was like, my Fifi is in the building. She is watching this. She was like, you had a lot of opinions yesterday. Did your opinion change? Like you had an opinion that she was sinking.
My opinion
did your opinion change over the course of listening to her and hearing what the other information was being put out?
No.
No.
Because, I understand her defending herself. I get that. Like I said, as Black people, we understood all the codes of not emasculating a Black man. We understood that. The problem is you're not trying to convince us. You're trying to convince Trump's base, Trump's constituents that are helping pay for him to get into the White House, even though he is about to be a convicted criminal, he's still able to run. You can't be in your emotions about your breakup. You can't lie about your relationship and then turn around and admit your relationship. Because what happened was the white girl, excuse my language, but that's what got it, really ticked her off because this young lady is coming at her like da 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 da, and she defended herself. That's great. Yeah. But she didn't defend herself in a professional manner.
Oh,
now, I testified in a trial before. I was 17 years old, and they were attacking my character. One of my friends, just a background, a friend of mine, her father, who was a pastor, had been raping her since she was young.
Wow.
And she confided in me and me alone. I kept a diary at the time. And so I wrote down everything, all of my thoughts, anything I couldn't tell my mother. So when she ran away from home, she ran to our house, was raised in a group home, has a beautiful life now and everything. But it was my testimony that locked him away. And at 17 years old, they were attacking my character. I had to remain calm. I could not find my diary that day.
Wow.
That diary was a key piece of evidence. But because I had to stay calm and convince them that I could produce that diary at any moment, that's what got him convicted. That's why he went to prison. Wow. I was the only I was the only witness for her. She had never told anybody else.
And you had to keep your composure.
I had to keep my composure in front of a room full of adults, prosecutor, her father staring at me with devil eyes the entire time. He was giving me laser eyes. He never liked me because he always kept his family close so that nobody would know what was happening.
Wow.
And he never liked me. Every time he saw me, he gave me the eye. But that they understand, if he could have murdered me with a blink, he would have done it.
Would have done so.
So it's not about, yeah, she said that for Black women. As a Black woman, we always have to stand up for ourselves. But this is an instant where, as a Black woman, she had to stand up for America. You're on an international stage. We don't have time for you. We don't have time for this. When she started doing this, and then he said, that man knew when they switched attorneys, it was because they understood that she doesn't do well with women. So she wasn't ever going to calm down. But he was like, I know I can get her to answer these questions. Everything that she was trying not to say in the beginning, he pulled it out of her. He said, when did you stop sleeping with him? She said, we broke up in August. But you know how men are. We stopped sleeping together in June. So I'm sure in his eyes, we broke up in June. What does that have to do with anything? She needs to be heard. She was on there like a woman scorned. She's still in love with him, one. And when she tried to deny that she was screwing him, it wasn't working because her voice started trembling. She had no. Now, prosecutors coach every witness that goes on the stand, everyone. She didn't coach herself. Nobody else coached her. And with her attitude, she was just like, ain't nobody gonna tell me how I'm gonna. This hearing, your position in this hearing, your position in this domino effect of events that has to happen to keep this man from being able to run for president is very important. We don't want to hear about it. We don't have time for your feelings. You need to lock that down. And that's what they know. As Black people, white people study us all the time. Why do you think they study us the way they do? You study your opponent. They know if they take their foot off our necks, we're the most powerful thing in the world, especially in America. But when you get in a position of power as a Black person, especially in the state of Georgia, where they don't want your Black ass telling them what to do, you have to be above reproach. You gotta calm that loneliness down, your desire for penis down. You gotta focus on your profession, because this would not have happened to a white woman in a professional setting. As soon as she knew that she had the case of the century, that the whole world will be talking about when my grandchildren's children are here, they would have cut him off at the knees. That relationship wouldn't have been another discussion. She would have got on the news with Oprah or somebody that likes to pull them tears, and she would have said, you know what? This case is important to me because we're fighting for America and democracy. So I want to be transparent right here with you and let you know, yes, I made a bad decision. Yes, I should not have shit where I eat, because that's not what you're supposed to be doing when you're the DA and you're screwing the head prosecutor. I messed up, but I ended it because this is more important. This case will determine history, and I am focused. That's what PR is. Where's her PR? Why are you wearing pink? Why are you wearing pink? Why are you wearing pink, but you got a hard attitude? The pink is supposed to soften you, soften your attitude. The judge tried to help her. The judge kept them from repeating questions that made no sense. He kept them from asking her irrelevant things that he knew because she already proved she wouldn't shut up about. So he kept them off of her. Then she goes, let's have the conversation. That's not what we're here for, woman.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you.
You're a woman already, but you're a Black woman. They know we're not emotional, because men are emotional too. They know we're passionate. Can you imagine the amount of times that Michelle Obama wanted to say, you don't get off my husband, I'm going to cook.
Or remember what they did when she did say something? She said one thing, and then they had her with the turban and a machine gun. I mean,
But
she said that was one of
I'm
the
not
worst
saying that
moments
it's
of her
fair.
life.
I'm not saying that it's fair that we have to be beyond reproach. I'm not saying that it's fair.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to read the room.
Mm.
When you're sitting on that stand as a witness to your own character in a hearing that can change the course of history, you got to read the room. You got to take a breath, and you got to fight for your children's children.
Mm.
We don't have. Like I said, I understood all of that, but when she did this, and I don't have to tell all my business, I said, "Girl, if you don't get yourself together," I was losing my stuff. I called you.
I know you were. You called me. You were like, you were like beside yourself, and I said, and I understood what you were saying, and now I understand it even more. I really know.
Steve sat out. Knew he had it when he walked up to the podium. First thing he said to her was, "Ma'am, I'm Madam DA. I'm going to ask you some questions, and I'm going to try to keep them to where you can say yes or no, so that we can move forward."
Yeah.
And and then she's to answer his question, to answer his statement, instead of her saying, "I understand," she says, "Okay, I understand how this goes," and that. And I'm just like, oh my God. So then that's when the judge knew he had to cape up for her. Because he could, you didn't hear no banging of gavels or nothing.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Be on her side, but she wouldn't shut up.
She wouldn't stop it.
She didn't help herself.
Steve Nadal said to her, see, I'm looking at it from the view of a woman, but I'm also looking at it from how monumental this case is. So he asked her, he said, he knew he had her because she wouldn't shut up. So he said, "Let me ask you something. Was this a lonely time for you?" And she goes, "Shh."
Yes, she did.
I was like, oh my God. It was like a therapy session.
It was.
Yeah.
Here's something before we go. Omar says that's why there are trial preparation consultants all over the place. Their job is to make you look more competent on the stand.
Absolutely. I'm not denying her right to defend herself. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is my grandmother always taught me there is a time and a place for everything. But you venting your relationship woes and yes, no, that's not correct. And when she lied in the beginning, then she turned around and that man did like this to her and she told everything. It seemed like she didn't understand what he was trying to establish. What he was trying to insinuate was that she bought the condo so she could screw him. Because he asked her, did any of your prosecutorial team, did anyone else come to that condo? She said no.
No.
He said, did your father stay at that condo? She said, well, not at first because he was stubborn. So he stayed at my house, but I made him move in because of COVID. So he said, so it's just you at the condo and you were afraid for your safety and your family's safety in your original home. She said, yes. And then he said, well, did your children come to the condo? She was like, no, but he said, well, did your daughter visit your original home? I think so. The only thing she was sure of was when she saw him, when she ate with him, and then she almost tripped up and told them that they took their food back to her place because he says, when you ate at these restaurants, were those sterile environments? What he was trying to get at was, you're talking about classified top, national security information in public restaurants.
Well, here's the thing, Fifi. I don't even think it's
kind of sterile. And he said, well, then she went. He said, a public restaurant, and she says, well, we didn't eat there. We took our food back, and then she stopped talking. And he said, back to the offices.
So hold on. I think part of that was when they were asking that question also because it was during the time of COVID. Who was out in public restaurants eating, You know what I mean? Like, why would you be out in public eating during COVID when everyone's afraid to go out?
But see, that was the point, Chris. He was trying to set up the fact that she's trying to set this image, but he's trying to set up the image in their mind of this. You can't trust this woman to prosecute a case this big because she's not focused. She's not even meeting this man, discussing this case in secure environments.
Yeah, Omar, and I know I can vouch for Omar on this. Omar said, he's saying to Derek, I was married to a trial attorney for 20 years. Their whole goal is to make you lose your
on the stand. 100%.
He says, remember the movie A Few Good Men.
100%.
Because cannot handle. Yes.
You can get a person to forget their objective. Her objective was to say, was what she said in the beginning. None of that has anything to do with this. Yes, you know, she screwed up, she did something dumb. But like I said, it could have been handled. I'm just a regular person, I'm just a trucker, and I can see how that could have been handled. So why you as a prosecutor can't let these people advise you so that you won't lose your job? Because Chris made a very good point. The reason why that law was instated was because when they get black people as the commissioner or a woman, because it don't matter, you could be a woman. They don't look
white too. Yeah, be a white woman.
They don't want women over them either.
That's
so
right.
they get ready. If somebody looks like they're acting a little too liberal, a little too woke, they can just snatch your job and they don't have to legitimize it at all. They can just do it. Yep. It's already law. And they've already shown that when black people start to move in a certain direction for power or for financial freedom, they move the goalposts. They change the laws. Yes. They increase the credit scores. They add new fees to what you can do with your LLC. And if you don't file that paperwork by the end of February, you owe $500 a day. Or they turn it into, yes, you're free, but here's Jim Crow. So when are we going to stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe? When are we going to learn to study our opponents the way they study us? This is my problem. It's not, oh, she did that and hooray for black women. Screw that. We're talking about the future of America because this trial could have tricked him up to make him fall all the way downhill. But now he's going to use the momentum of the clownery of this to climb out of this. And at the end of everything, when it's all over with, those people are going to take her job.
Well, at the end of the day,
we got to stop.
So, Felicia, Fifi, do you think? So you think she is going to lose?
They're going to lose her job until they get her.
Yeah.
Because she had the audacity.
Her, obviously.
She had the audacity to come after their hero. We have to remember that this type of white person operates on revenge. This type of white person is going to get their lick back every time. So it's like, why are you surprised that these people knew when you went to the restaurant, what restaurant you went to? You are about to prosecute a former president of the United States who had people on Capitol Hill in the FBI and the CIA helping him do whatever he wanted to do. You think his lawyers can't make a phone call in a favor and pick up all your Google location, all your phone calls, all your bank transactions? You have to think about your opponent.
Right. You're right on that one.
So
is capable of
here's the thing, though, with that, you know, Ron and I kind of mentioned to it earlier. I think the judge wants to help her and wants to find her, you know, to clear all this and move on, but she's not helping herself. If she was to ever get back on the stand again and do what she did, he would definitely have to rule against her because she's not helping herself. But he wants to help her. Yeah. He wants to help her. It's like him stopping her and saying, hey, you know, you don't have to answer this. And then she, you know, overtalks me, answers the question anyway. Like, I'm here to stop that line of question because it's irrelevant. It holds no water in this courtroom. But yet, so you go interject and you put it out there, then I can't help you because now it's on the record.
Yeah. Well,
and she's opening the door.
I knew as soon as she took on that case, they were going to go after her with everything. And like Fifi says, we all know, I mean, it's not just on TV that we see this. I'm sure they called in all kinds of favors, tap her phone, do this, whatever they could do. You know, had what do you call the PIs out there, private investigators, going through her records, going through her garbage, going through everything. They went all out to get her, but she also gave them the rope.
Yeah.
To hang herself, because the reason why, and this is where I'm also again.
That's what hurt.
Immediately when she got this case, she should have told homeboy, "It's
Bye.
over. Bye. We can't meet. I know you make me feel good on my lonely nights, but guess what? We got to move. We are dealing with the case of the century." And you know, people say the case of the century, like O.J. Simpson, but this literally is the case of the century, if not centuries, because this is the first time
it's going to define her case in history.
Put in person, you know, being indicted and prosecuted for a crime against the United States, or in this case, against Georgia. Wow.
I'm trying to tell you, this case was going to define her space in history. And that's where I was coming from. It's like, there are some things that are not black and white.
Yeah.
And there's sometimes where we have to sit our black card down and focus. And I work in white spaces with all men and there are times where I have to go, okay, I see you. And I take the time to learn how they think by listening to the conversations. When I'm driving Lyft, and you know, I'm not scared to say white people this or white people that, because it's not a blanket statement. There's a certain type of white person that's in power who doesn't accept accountability, who doesn't do that kind of stuff. They deflect. That's why we're going through CRTV and moving on. So in order to maintain power, you have to deflect and say, well, you're no better than me, or you're no smarter than me, or how can you say that? Because look what you did. They've been doing that to us since we were slaves. So it's like at some point we have to turn on our academic mind and get out of all of the emotion. There's not enough dick in the world that's going to knock me out of my place in history. That's going to determine the future of my grandchildren.
Yeah, you bring up a good point when you say, I mean, the whole thing is she is literally on the case of it is one of the cases of the century and of centuries, because again, you are talking about an ex-president that people still want to be president, especially in the South. But here in New York too, there's people here in New York that want to be president too. Don't get me wrong, I'm not being biased against the South, but there's just more of them in the South.
You're right, because I picked up a young woman who said to me, she was a young black woman, she was 25, she was pregnant, and she says, you know, a lot of my friends really want Trump to be back in office because, you know, we was getting paid. I said, baby, I said, those were pandemic checks. I said, the Democratic Congress and House of Representatives gave you that check. Trump didn't want you to have anything. America lost 2 million people in the pandemic. The UK lost 200,000. We have to be able to self-criticize and self-correct and be all right with the consequences of that. We can't just go, oh, black mamas, screw that. My grandson has to vote in 4 years. Who is he voting for? You see what I'm saying? So it's not, you know, it's not me just trying to go against the grain. And I've been watching the spin of it all. People been spinning this on the internet, on the news, like she did a great job. It's like, bro, you're gonna see the consequences of it at the end of the day. But I picked up a
Felicia, Miss Fifi.
Yes, sir.
Your observations. I mean, you giving us some good light. Because it was definitely, you know, it's like oh, she disappeared. Oh, there you go. Okay. It's just like Lisa was saying, in the text, it feels one way, but when you came out and express when you painted the picture, and it's very true. I mean, this is historic. And again, and like we all agree, I think all of us agree that when she took on this case, she should any appearance, any appearance had to be dropped, put to the side, thrown away. If she had to be celibate for the whole 3 years, she's going to have to be celibate because they are going to come after her with everything they got. I see also Kimmy Kim says, if she is disqualified, where do they think her career will go? Up or down? Guys, we know when they put you, if they get her out of that office, she's not going back to Georgia. She won't be in any other office in Georgia. However, the people might vote her back in. Who knows? Because her position is an elected role. The people put her in office. And it's a lot harder to get someone that's been elected by the people out of office, because she can take that to the Supreme Court.
True.
Fifi prep. I got people in here going like this. Fifi for president. Fifi for president. Yeah, look, Derek. What is it, Jasmine? Her and still after state. Yeah, they're still after Stacey Abrams. Yeah, because she shook it up too.
Because they're challenging the status quo. Whenever you're doing that, if you're a black DA in Georgia, that's amazing. And then you're challenging everything. So it's like, I admire her, I respect her, but I feel bad for her. And this is, man, I'm praying the judge, will have her back all the way down the line. But the other DA that got up and questioned her, he did a really good job because he allowed her the room to speak, as just a woman who's set up, because he kind of set it up for her to give her resume and how she got here. And so he said to her, tell me how you ended up in this position. So she talked about the task force that she put together for civil rights and all the things. So he let her just talk, and that's what she needed. And I hate that he couldn't do that earlier, so that she have a chance to calm down and stuff. But, it's really in the hands of the judge at the end of the day. And he knew it was unfair. So we can only hope that his good nature, honestly, will allow to rule in her favor. And even if she removes herself, which I would do, I would just remove
but here's so let me comment on that, because I think you brought up a great point. A lot of people saying, oh, well, now because of what happened yesterday, maybe she should just remove herself. The problem is she had an opportunity to do it prior to the trial starting yesterday, where there would be no consequences. If she does it now, it doesn't help her. Because here's the thing. It's not only her. If she gets disqualified, it's not only her, it's her entire office.
Everyone gets it.
And whoever else comes up after her can decide, we're not going to even deal with this case anymore. So regardless of what happens, if she gets disqualified, this case pretty much, for the most part, is a dead case. It is a dead case.
That's true.
She had a small window to do it before she went on the stand yesterday. She could have done it on Thursday, and a lot of reporters were talking about, like they were saying, if she wants to get ahead of this and just remove herself, she'll save the case, because the assistant district attorney would take it over, and all of that would have been quashed. But because she decided that she wanted to get on the stand, now she's made herself the case, and she can't get out of it. Yeah. So that's the unfortunate thing.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Well, guys, we come to the end of this conversation, which was a great Focus Friday. Man, I love this. I love when we get into it. This was, Fifi, thank you for giving your perspective.
Thank you.
I loved it. I thought this was really good. I like when people weigh in, and that's the beauty of having conversation. And first of all, how did it feel to be on the camera and be on here?
I'm like, oh my God.
Did you have fun? Did you have fun?
I appreciate it. I really do. Because I was typing, and I was like, no, I was spelling everything wrong.
When Chris or I are gone, you have to be on. You have to be a fill-in sometime.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see Janet says, thank you, Fifi. I see Eldridge says, great conversation. I see Chris is saying, hopefully no removal. Kimmy says, honestly, I need to see her type of passion and activism for minorities in the USA. I agree with that too. I see here Jasmine. If she's removed herself, then there will be state-appointed prosecutor, and they'll stall the case out.
I don't think they'll stall. They'll just get rid of it.
They'll just get rid of it. Rashawn says, excellent Focus Friday. And Jazzy says, this was great. Okay, guys, we are going to get off here because Chris got work to do. I got work to do. And we got the rest of the day. I got a party to go to this evening. One of my mentees is having her birthday party. And so I will be there this evening. Again, tomorrow I will be at the gallery. Let me just get that up there really quick so you'll know what gallery I'm talking about. Did I put that up here? Oh, did I got rid of it. Oh, shame. The I will be at the gallery on the east side for the event with Jamel Shabazz and Howard Cash, who was on here 2 days ago. Their exhibition with all amazing photography celebrating Black men and their journey through passage. So that would be good. It will be it will be in the description of this video at the end. So check that out. Make sure you are seeing Chris, his wonderful the conference call, and because it looks so fun. It is. I haven't seen the whole thing yet. Is this just an advertisement, or has it been aired yet?
The episode came out on Wednesday morning.
Okay, so guys, check out Chris's the conference call. That is going to be so much fun. I can't wait to see it. I'm going to look at it while I'm doing my editing today. And Omar says, have a great weekend. So you know how I roll. I will have at the end of this, when I put on the outro, as we call it, you guys can chat it up, say hello, exchange information. I'll give you guys about a minute or two to do that. And then, guys, so have a great weekend. I will be on live in the gallery. I'll be live here tomorrow, regular time. I will still be here on Saturday for Saturday Vibe. And then after that, I will run to the city, to the gallery. And so we're going to have a great time this weekend. Also, if you're in New York, get ready for the snow. We're going to have a good snow day. Well, not exactly a snow day, but it's going to be 2 inches of snow, hopefully. I see here, like the like. She says, hit the like button on your. Oh, thank you, Jasmine. If you enjoyed today, hit the like button. Yes, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Okay, there we go. Gotta put on this in. And yeah, hit the like button. And also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.
Oh, you muted yourself. You muted yourself. How did
I mute myself? How did that happen? So
I don't know.
Anyway, guys, and continue with this. What's good about these hearings is that we get to learn about law. So this is a great opportunity to do some learning. So please get out there and kind of like listen up to what's going on around you and what's happening in these cases, because you will learn a lot about law. And guys, thank you so much. I love you all, and I will see you tomorrow.